Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Middle 3 students, today, if God willing, we are going to start Unit 2. Unit 2, as I told you before, it is a physics unit. Its title is The Electric Energy and Radio Activity. In this unit, we are going to study 3 lessons. Lesson number 1 is talking about the physical properties of electric current. Lesson number 2, the electric current and the electric cells. Lesson number 3 is talking about radioactivity and the nuclear energy. First of all, we have to know that electric energy is the cleanest form of energy, as it has no pollution effect on the environment. It doesn't pollute the environment, so we prefer to use electricity in most of the devices which we use in our daily life. Is electricity discovered or invented? As a matter of fact, electricity was discovered, not invented. The electricity already exists in nature. Who discovered the electricity? A scientist called Benjamin Franklin, and he said the electricity is composed of positive charges and the negative charges. What are the positive charges? The positive charges are the protons, which exist inside the nucleus of an atom. The negative charges are the electrons, which rotate around the nucleus. We all know, guys, that the atom consists of nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there are positively charged particles called the protons, and the electrically neutral particles called neutrons. Called what? Neutrons. The electrons rotate around the nucleus in energy levels. In energy what levels? So the electrons are negatively charged particles rotate around the nucleus. There is an attraction force between the electrons and the nucleus. There is an attraction force between the negative charges and the positive charges. The electrons which exist in the last energy levels of the atoms are called the valence electrons. If those electrons are very close to the nucleus, so those electrons cannot be removed easily from the atom. So they are not free electrons. They can't leave the atom and move from one atom to another, so they are not free electron. But if those electrons are far away from the attraction of the nucleus, so those electrons are called the free electron, as they can move from one atom to another. Those electrons which can move from one atom to another, which are the negative charges, are responsible for the electrical conductivity. It means the substances which conduct the electricity, they have free electrons. Like what? Like the metallic elements. That's why copper conducts electricity. Copper conducts electricity because it has free electrons. Why those electrons are free? Because they are far away from the nucleus. So the attraction force of the nucleus on those electrons is very, very small or vanish. So those electrons can move freely from one atom to another. Again, those electrons are called in metal free electrons. What about plastic or wood? They don't have free electrons. Of course they have electrons, but the electrons are too close to the nucleus, so they cannot move from one atom to another. Therefore, plastic and wood, they do not conduct electricity. Lesson 1. The physical properties of electric current. What is meant by electric current? Say we have a metallic wire made of copper. This is just a copper wire. As I told you that the copper has free electrons. If the free electrons moved from one terminal of the copper wire to the other terminal in this direction, like that, so what is moving in the copper wire here is called electric current. So what is meant by the electric current? The electric current, it is the flow. It is the flow of negatively charged electrons through a wire. Through what? A wire. As you can see, the electrons are moving through the wire from one terminal to another, from one point to another. So the electric current is the flow of negatively charged electron through a wire in a given direction. In one direction. It means any wire, if there is an electric current is flowing in this wire, it has to flow in one direction. It's impossible to find a wire has an electricity and the current is moving in the two different directions in the same wire. No way انك تلاقي electrons ماشية to the right and the electrons moving in the same wire to the left. If this happened, هتحصل حاجة اسمها electric shock أو القفلة الكهربية اللي بنشوفها في بعض electric circuits، في بعض الدوائر الكهربية. لكن you have to know إن electrons have to move in one direction in any metallic conductor or in any wire, any wire. So this is the meaning of electric current. So what is meant by electric current? Electric current, it is the flow of a negatively charged electrons through a wire in a given direction, in a given direction. If this point is point A and this point along the wire is point B, so in this example the electrons are moving from point A to point B. The question here, why the electrons moved from A to B, not from B to A? And why the electrons are moving at all? There should be a reason for the electrons to move, and the motion has to be from A to B, not from B to A. Why the electrons in motion and why the electrons are moving from A to B not from B to A. ليه الالكترونز ماشية أساسا وليه ماشية من A ل B؟ ليه ما مشيتش من B ل A؟ To answer this question we have to study the properties of electric current. Actually, we have three physical properties of electric current. Number one, the electric current intensity, denoted with capital I, اللي هو شدة التيار الكهربي. The strength of the electric current. Number two, the potential difference, denoted with V, or in some cases we call it the voltage. البوتنشال difference اللي هو فرق الجهد أو الفولت. 3. The electrical resistance. The electrical resistance المقاومة الكهربية. And we are going to study each one of those properties in detail. But to answer this question, why the electrons are flowing from A to B, not from B to A, we have to start with this property, which is the potential difference.